Hello, Hasis. Hello, Gohan Kori. Hello, Shisui Uzumaki. Hello, Kori. Hello. There we go. Yep. Okay, I am going to just keep both headphones on. Actually, it doesn't actually matter to me. So we're going to just do that. Let me just make sure, because I'm right now just grinding some co-op on the side before it just, goes away and then le dies. Oui. Okay. So I have a whole bunch of teams already pre-set up over here. So we're going to look at that. And we're going to just go through it. So let's just go over, like, once again. Hello, Saint. How you doing? I see you there. But let's just go over once again how I rate these, because again, a lot of this when I'm doing rating, I'm doing based upon just what I'm seeing more so than anything else. So I'm not really looking at this from the scope of, can you get top 100 with this team? Can you get top 1K? Can you get top 10K? I will tell you what's the likelihood of your team getting to a certain rank, but I will not tell you that you can't do it, because I mean, let's be frank, you can technically get top 10K with heroes, like hero units. So I just want to point that out there, that we're just looking at this based upon synergy, team comp, and just overall power, and those do play a factor in how many mistakes you're allowed to make, but it doesn't actually play a factor on how skilled are you and can that team make to a certain rank. So that's why we're not covering that. Rate My Team is really more so just to see how we can improve your team, more so how can we improve your skill, because that's something that is completely different. So now that we've got that out of the way, I'm pretty good. Just, I'm chilling. That's pretty much it. I'm just chilling. And I'm also kind of doing a raid on the side, the Borley raid. So it's just, it's been a lot of, I wouldn't say it's a lot of fun, but I do like the fact that I can just pick up Borley. I do like that. Borley Z-Power. I don't know. Like, I've been doing a lot of that with co-op, more so than with PvP. I know you can do it with PvP. Oh my god. No. Ah, poo. Oh, well, it's too late now. Joy, hello. It's okay. Most likely my teammate's gonna help me kill it, so it doesn't matter. It's Goten and Z7 Gohan, so yeah, it's dead. All right, so yeah, overall, that's pretty much the disclaimer. How y'all doing? And we got some, boom. This is the team I want rated. Oh my god, guys. Okay, well, I'll look at those in a moment. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to start with the first one. We got fusions. Also, I did change Emily and we changed the angle for the, whatchamacallit, the webcam. So that way when I look at you guys, I can look straight into your souls. And I can also look at the chat, which is like literally just below. And then the other screen is covering like the actual team. So if you see me looking this way, I'm looking at your teams. You see me looking here, I'm looking at what you guys say. If I'm just talking to you, I'm talking to you from here. All right, so first up, we got fusions. So let me just take a look real quick. Okay. So we got. You want your headphones? Oh yeah, sure. Where's your headphones? These headphones, yeah. All right, here you go, Emily. No problem. Let me just help out my teammate, because I've been kind of neglecting them, and they're not dying. They've been doing good on their own. Okay. So we've got Super Saiyajin Gogits at Zenkai 7, so that's nice. Here, let me just get that in there. We're almost there. Oh my gosh. All right. We got Super Gogeta. We've got Vegito Blue. We've got Monkey King 4. Let's see. We got Health Buffer. That's what he is. We've got our Super Gogits, but Transformazione. We got the defensive version, so we want to go more defensive than offensive. Okay, interesting. And then we have Majub. All right, so let's take a look at this and just see what we got here. So we're first going to cover synergy. So synergy is going to really focus on where you are in terms of your equips and your overall ability bonus. Your ability bonus is attributed to your Zenkai bonuses, your overall bonuses with your Z ability and stuff like that. And then we'll look at actual teams later, like the actual composition of the team. Hello, Tega. Hello, NudiePie. Good afternoon, NudiePie. Or maybe it's night for you. Yeah, it might be night for you, but it is afternoon for me, so thank you. Okay, so, you know. Anyways, so let's take a look. In terms of equips here, these equips are solid. The only one that I'm a little bit iffy on, realistically, is just the free-to-play. But the free-to-play really just counts as like an S equip. So it's a good equip. Like, the fact that they give us these type of equips for free is nice because it's very helpful for free-to-play players, especially if you got it when you got it. So it's good. Vegeta Blue. All right. So obviously the only thing I really have to like nitpick on is the fact that this equip, you should at least have it in S. It's a really good equip. I don't see a reason not to boost it up. So I hope that you are working on this particular equip and pushing it up because yeah, these last 2 slots are fantastic. Hello, Sanic. How you doing? My daddy is here. Ashu, I am fantastic. How you doing? It's 12 a.m. for me. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you guys want, I could start these a little earlier. So, like, let's say 1 p.m. Would that work for people a little bit better? Like 1 p.m.? I mean, I could always ask in a community poll. So if you guys are willing to, like, answer community polls, then I am willing to, you know, ask there. So that way you guys can give me a better idea of what could be a better time. Because I know that, you know, 2 p.m., as much as it's helpful to me, it's not necessarily helpful for everyone else. Is this David's team? I don't know, actually. I didn't really double check when I clicked on this. I just kind of clicked on it, and yeah, here we are. Okay, but then we're taking a look at this. Okay, so I can see that the basis of this Gogeta. Interesting. So the basis of this Gogeta is really for hybrids. And also if you want, like... Okay, so considering the meta that we're in, yeah, this equip does make sense. But if you are meeting more than just hybrids, I don't really like this equip because obviously one of its slots is literally just dedicated to curb stomping hybrids, which I do appreciate. Any equip that is like literally dedicated to curb stomping a hybrid unit makes my day. It just makes my day, and I'm very happy about it. And I wish every equip said 100% extra damage to hybrids. I hate hybrids so much. I hated hybrids even before this meta. Like, if any of you guys know me, like, you know how much I despise hybrids. To the point where I wish they didn't exist. Like, just didn't. I don't care if there are people that main hybrids. It's a shame that you play them. Okay. It's 11 a.m. where I'm at. All right, bet. This 2 p.m. EST works for me. Quiz again. How about me, my dude? You didn't introduce me to your friends. Oh, my God. Afternoon, Phil. Yo, Mike, how you doing? No, don't change time at school. Well, I am now, but I'm a senior. Don't do it. Okay, cool. Okay. Health buffer. I won't look too much into the equips because it's a health buffer. It's not really there to be played with. And then we got another of these hybrid equips. Okay, we got the Awakened. We got the pure defense equip. And then we have these. Okay. All right. So, let's go over this real quick. So, I would like this to be upgraded. This is fine. Alternatively, you could always use the complete defensive equip, or you could put more health buffs onto this, because even though there is a health buffer on the team, adding an extra health buff to a health buff is not always a bad idea. This unit will never be used. It's just there to be a bench unit. I personally like the non-awakened equip for this particular Gogeta, but I can also see where this person is coming from. It looks like they're trying to put more defense on their team, in which case, because they have a health buffer, this is fine. It's absolutely actually fine. But in that case, it makes me feel like I would rather this equip be something that covers all stats and not just also buffs against hybrids. So that's just me personally. And then this is fine. Like, overall, whenever I see a GT unit, having the plat equip tends to be just a straight up plus. So yeah, I don't say no to this. This is good. All right, and then we got the ability bonus, which is at 25. So that's not bad. I would say it's the average. So we could say for synergy, I would definitely give it a 7.5. It is solid. It actually has like a formation. It makes sense as to what this person is attempting to do. It's just a matter of they need to improve their overall equips. And I mean, like, there's definitely a priority on more defense and more health than anything else, to which I 100% agree. Fusions can actually do that. They have the ability to do it. So yeah. in terms of team comp, is there any better units that could be for this team? For the way it's being played, I mean, this guy is mainly strike, but he can really sub for blast too. This guy is very versatile. Same with this guy, same with this one. Surprisingly him too. He's more like support, so that's fine. So yeah, I actually very much like this team. The team setup is fine. Yeah. I don't really have anything bad to say about this. In terms of team comp, I'm gonna give it a 9. The team comp is very solid. It has everything it wants to be. It's a little bit more of a balanced act than more strike focused, but the fact of the matter is, ever since we got Super Gogets, it makes sense that there is going to be a deciding factor of whether or not I want to play Vegito Blue on the team, and if I do I have to just completely disregard the health buffer? And if I do that, then in that case, this guy is actually there just to buff the entire team, but as well to mainly buff Vegito Blue, whereas everyone else can just go for a more strike-oriented base battle in that case. So that would be the only change. If you're removing health buffers, then Vegito Blue would take its place, and in that case, your overall change in equips would be more strike-oriented and more defense-oriented and less so much health. So yeah, this is a fine change. I don't hate it at all. It's fine. And then as for team power, I could give it an 8. It's a solid team. Good job, whoever this is. Mina asks, what would you suggest? 3-star Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks or 14-star Red Vegito? 3-star Super Saiyan 3. They would both be used for only their Z ability. I'm going to get Majub at 6 stars today. This is my new team, by the way. Well, see that I would already automatically just say 14-star Red Vegito. Because as much as like the 3-star Gotenks is good and solid for as a Z ability, I wouldn't really put him on the team until you at least have him at 6 stars. And on top of that, you have to also weigh out how many Gogetas you have on the team versus Vegetos. Because if you have a lot of Vegetos, then in that case, Red Vegito makes total sense, as there's a certain stat that only he buffs Vegetos. Whereas if it's just mainly Gogetas, then you have to just weigh out who has the better stats for what serves your purpose. If you're looking for strike-based, then maybe Gotenks might be actually better. You have to double-check that. It really depends. It's your team. I personally ultra mega hate those two units. LF Yellow Future Gohan and LF Zamasu. I don't really hate the Zamasu as much as I hate the Future Gohan. The yellow. He's absolutely a pain. Oh, I will get there, Mike. Don't worry. All right, so let's take a look. All right, so we got this Goham. Got Trunks-kun. We've got Gohan. Goten, the little Shet. I hate this little piece of crap. And then we got this Gohan and then another Gohan. All right. So obviously this is more of a budget hybrids team. And that's probably due to the fact that they don't have particular LFs. They don't obviously have this LF at 7 stars. Once it gets to 7 stars, it's a completely different animal. All right, so let's talk about the equips first and foremost. So for this particular hybrid, I would definitely go for a more, especially because of how this setup is, there's a lot of defense. Like, these three in nature are very defensive units. Despite them not necessarily all buffing defense, they are defensive in nature. So having this awakened makes more sense than having it as its base. You don't need the damage, you need more of the defense base for this Gohan to further decrease the amount of damage you take, along with in setup this unit right here. All right. This is okay. There's a lot of defense with some strike orientation right there. It's okay. This is not bad. At least everything is A or above. I do appreciate that. I wonder why this isn't awakened to the next level, because this can be awakened, and even if you have an awakened A of this, it is way better than a non-awakened S. Like, it is just straight up better. So you might as well awaken this. Now, I have to look at it from the standpoint in which it is. So obviously, it's going to be lower rated than what I would like it to be, but that's part of this whole thing. Okay, so we got the ability bonus. It's at 2,000, basically, roughly. We could also rough it up to 2,100, but let's just put it at 2050, 2063. It's just in the 2000s, like very low 2000s. Overall, in terms of synergy, like there is synergy. Like the three here make total sense. Goten is a very fantastic support for this team, and this Gohan can actually. Okay, when I say put in work, I just mean more so if he is a last man standing unit and he's been buffed by Goten properly, if he's been buffed by everyone else properly, and you've set him up and the stars align, he will actually be a solid unit. Otherwise, he can be very, very not solid unit. It's just one of those situations where I just feel he is quite literally power crept to the point where even the LF, like the purple LF version of himself from the movies, it does more base damage, non-transformed, than he would at Zenkai 1, for sure, like 100%. So, yeah, it's unfortunate, but that is the reality of this situation here. Overall, here's what I would say. Awaken this. I would say it's a shame that this isn't at least an S equip. It's a very solid equip that I would definitely push to S if you can. So do that. Awaken this, and then from there, what I would definitely say is re-roll for some of these equips. These equips are fine for what you've put them as, but make sure that their first slot is at least yellow, like gold, like so that way you have a good chance of hitting them to Z equip or S at least. I would definitely say that. So overall, in terms of synergy, I'm gonna have to give it I would have to give it a 6. It has the makings of something that would be really good, but it's just not fully there. And a lot of the little fixes that could put it easily at a 7 aren't even done. Like this being awakened or this being awakened. Like those particular equips, there's really no reason why they aren't awakened for the type of team that you have and for the type of team that you're building. All right, in terms of team composition, I'm also going to have to rate it a little bit on the lower end, and that's probably not their fault. More so, it is just how it is. Yo, Intera, I appreciate that. You're at the gym right now, but no, I appreciate that. I really do. Oh my gosh, I appreciate that. I set my team, and I think it's pretty good. Once I get Z7 Goten, I'm free to play, even though it might not look like it. That's okay. Don't worry. I'm not here to judge like how free to play or not free to play you are. Also, Plankton, I'm fantastic. How you doing? Nashwin's like it's 2 a.m. here. Oh my god. Mike is like, don't talk about. Oh my god. This is why I should be reading what you guys are saying sometimes. Oh my god. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just like kind of diving into this world right now. All right. So for team comp, because I gotta cover that. I really do. I like the first 3 units. They're solid. Personally speaking, you don't really need this Trunks, but if you are in a situation where you don't have this guy Zenkai'd, I totally get it, and I actually totally appreciate that this Trunks is actually there. So while this Gohan is not being able to do much, this Trunks can definitely help out. All right, so this is a solid trio, and obviously when his event comes back, get him to Z7. He's at this current time, it's really a toss-up between 2 units as to which one is the better unit to have on your hybrids team, and that would be the new green Movie Saga Trunks, or alternatively, this Gohan. I am more partial to the Gohan, as I don't really care about the death buff's abilities, and I would rather just have my entire team flowing and constantly switching at all 3 intervals. I'm not really looking for like the most insane output, because that insane output is curve stomped by the fact that we have so much cover change and cover cut damage removal. The fact that we can survive rising rushes like it's nobody's business with 3 different units. That includes if you have this guy at Zenkai 7. There's just too much that this team can do, to the point where I value more so this future Gohan over the Movie Saga Trunks. But the Movie Saga Trunks holds his own, does well. So anyone that enjoys that playstyle more, I also completely get it and won't rate it lower. In this situation, we are dealing with future Gohan, so that's fine. The first 3 are fantastic. They synergize very well. Goten is always a fantastic yellow alternative if you don't have the yellow future Gohan. So I also don't hate this. The fact that this guy's not Zenkai, I have to dock some points let's be real, he is the anchor of the team. Just straight up. He's a great last man standing unit. He's also your anchor. He's literally your go-to primary unit to start off with. He also can be a secondary unit to start off with. Basically, the man does everything, whether it's pivoting, whether it is tagging, like whether it's last man standing unit, whether it's defensive. This guy can do it all. So the fact that he's not Zenkai hurts, obviously. And then this Gohan, he's an okay alternative if you don't have a better purple. I mean, you could realistically use the purple movie saga Trunks instead if you wanted to, because on the team, he also buffs the team when you switch and stuff. So that could be better, and you could actually just double check what they each do in terms of damage and see which one does better and just how it is. So yeah. For example, balance on famine hybrid unit. Yeah, exactly. Okay, well anyways, so obviously the most ideal list would be either this one or alternatively the Zenkai 7 Super Saiyan 2 Trunks. Obviously, this guy is definitely one of them, or alternatively the movie saga Trunks. This is a great alternative, although I prefer the hybrids future Gohan, the LF, Zenkai 7, and then obviously the LF. So obviously in terms of team comp, I have to rate it for how it is versus what is the realistic nature of this. So again, for what it is and for how it's built, I can give it a 7. In terms of like how reliable it is in comparison to the other one, I'd probably rate it a 6. But for what it is, I can definitely give it a 7. It definitely can compete. It can play. It's just that it's definitely on the lower end, and it's definitely more budget, and that's okay. That's not a big deal. That's not actually necessarily a bad thing. It just means that you got to deal with what it is. Finally, power. Power is where you might find yourself a little bit issue. I'm gonna have to probably give it about like a 5, and the reason for it is most likely the Zenkai, like, as much as he does decent damage, his damage isn't like skyrocketing crazy. His damage really doesn't really shine until about like Zenkai 3. And then this one, he doesn't do damage. He's your tank. He's like just straight up a tank. But he is solid against LOE, but where's LOE, right? And then this guy, obviously, it would be better if he's Zenkai because that would be a lot of damage. The fact that this Goten is here really helps out the rest of the team. Like, he can help them be buffed. And honestly, if you were to run instead of this one, the Movies Trunks, the purple one, the one that transforms for 40 seconds, that could also probably benefit. Like, you could benefit from that too. If you don't want to bring in your yellow for whatever reason, you need to bring in a purple, you could bring him in instead. And then as a result, you'd also be buffing your team. Because realistically, as much as they say that it's like a defensive unit or a strike unit, I can't remember what they said it was based upon the thing. He's actually support too. He's also a fantastic support unit for hybrids. So I'm just like, yeah. But overall, like, the team's not bad. And the ratings are lower on the lower end only because of the situation that I can see that this person's in. So that's why. All right. Well, anyways, let's move on. All right. So we got another fusion team. So let's look at this and see what we got here. All right, so we got the Monkey King. We have Kafla. We have Vegeta Blue. We have Super Gogets. We have Majub, and we have Super Gogets, but Transformazione version. All right, so let's go over this real quick. And I believe this is the... Nah, it's not the same equip. So, yeah, it's not the same equip, so that's fine. Okay, so let's go over this real quick. I don't fully understand this setup. And the reason why I say I don't fully understand it is because this is just primarily all defense. I think this one confuses me the most. Also, I don't see the plat equip for this guy, and he very much appreciates the plat equip. I also like health buffs on him, especially since there are no health buffers in the actual Z ability team, to the point where I'm just like, well, if there's no health buffer, maybe we should actually prioritize some health on this dude. That's all. In terms of this, Okay, so let's actually just say something right off the bat. I first and foremost already appreciate that this person took the time to get all of their equips to A or higher. I already appreciate that, so good job on that. But then now we have to talk about what's realistically better, what you're better off with. So first tip I would say is try to re-roll for a lot of these equips, so that way your first equip is a gold slot. So that means you'd have to re-find these equips and re-pull on them to get them to that gold slot. I'm more willing to forgive them if it's like this, because you've at least put in the work for these. It's disappointing that this is a green, but at least that means you have an S equip, so that's fine. All right, so let's discuss this equip. This is not a Super Saiyajin team, so as a result, you're actually just hurting yourself by having this equip. You do not need a base critical up. This guy doesn't need it, and this is just kind of a 2-slot equip in that case. And I'm not saying get rid of this equip, like delete it from your existence. I'm saying just maybe not on this unit. Try to find a different equip. Also, I would say if you're going to use this equip, get this first slot to gold, please. I know it's very hard to find one, but I would 100% suggest it since, you know, this equip is a solid equip for someone that wants to max out on strike-based attacks. Let's see. These are fine. I don't mind this. And blast-based with a plat equip. Yeah, it's fine. I would, again, say re-roll for this equip. Make it at least gold or red in the front. Everything else is fine. I don't... It's interesting because this is a health buffer, which I 100% agree with, considering the fact that you need the health buff. But then this guy has no health buff. And that confuses me greatly because he would stand a health buff. And then I wish that this was at least slot in for like a gold or a red. That's what I would say. Yeah, and then we got the ability bonus. The ability bonus is solid. It's actually very similar to the other one, despite the other one looking more impressive. So that goes to show what you can do with something like this. So what I would definitely say is I would give this probably a 7 in terms of synergy. It's there. It's definitely an average team, which is good. It's just now about improving. I would say more so re-rolling than having to switch the equips. The only equips I would switch is potentially this one and this one. You could also switch this one instead. It really depends on what you're looking for. I know this one gets buffs his special move, so if you're really, really keen on that, you don't have to drop that at all. So yeah. All right, let's look at team comp. Team comp-wise, let's take a look and let's see. So overall, there is no health buffer. And at least I don't think... let's double-check Majub just for a second. I'll double-check in just a moment. So let me just pull it up on my thing. Or actually, I could just pull up on... let me just pull this up over here because I could just look at Majub real quick. Unless someone wants to tell me what Majub buffs, I'll have to double check myself. Alright, let me just see. I think it was Blast. Blast and then maybe Strike. Or maybe it was Blast Stack, Blast Defense. I'll double check in just a moment. I don't believe it was Health, though. Yeah, it was Base Strike and Blast. Okay, yeah. 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 My 7-star Pure Frieza is untouched in my button box. I'm only used him once when he was 4 stars and he wasn't great. He's a solid support, though. Yeah. Yeah. Are you referring to the LF? I'm assuming you're referring to the LF, Jason. All right. So, yeah, in terms of team comp-wise, we got Strike, Blast, Blast. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, so I would definitely say in terms of equips, one of the things that you could do to make this better, because, like, overall, I don't hate the team selection. You have yourselves a solid blue, solid yellow, solid red, either one, solid purple, solid green. So, what I would definitely say is, since this looks like it really wants to be blast-focused, I don't think this guy would be usually used. So, that means you'd probably be running Kafla more so than the Gogits. Seems like Gogits would actually only really be there to buff this Kafla. And now I could be wrong and they're actually using this Gogeta, but I would actually, in this particular situation, considering it's very blast-oriented, I would actually be running the Kafla over the Gogeta. Just personal preference in regards to how the team has been built. But I would also put health buffs as an equip for each one. Like, I'd prioritize that, especially because you have defensive buffs. You also have a support unit that also heals you up. So if you have defense along with health, and considering you do not have a Go Tanks to health buff yourself, it actually doesn't hurt. And you could potentially find yourself tanking a lot better just because having extra health while also having extra defense means you have more damage to take. You know, just kind of works out that way. Whereas if you have a lot of health but no defense, it's like the same as just having a lot of defense and no health. It's the same thing. You don't tank as much. So, yeah. So for this, I would probably give it a 7, or maybe an 8 actually. No, I'd definitely give this an 8. I think where I'm gonna have to dock some points is just stars. Realistically, like it would be, I'm not even gonna dock for this guy. I'm going to dock for the fact that she should be 6 stars. You really just want to push her to 6 stars. Work on him to get him to 6 stars. Then I can easily give this a much higher rating. I would also say that considering that you would have to main him as one of your priority blue units, having him at Z7 would definitely help. But overall, 8 is fine. I think I can definitely give it an 8. And then in terms of team power, it has power. It can definitely mow through teams. It can also be mowed right back because of how it's set up. So I can also give it about like a 7. It's a solid team. All right, now I got to move through these a little bit faster because I've been really, really slow. All right, let's take a look at this. Some shit. Nice. All right, so let's take a look at this real quick. In terms of... whatchamacallit. In terms of team synergy, let's take a look. We got Blast Focus with more Blast orientation. I hope this is for Sun Fam, considering we barely see Vegeta family as it is, but you can always re-roll when it becomes Vegeta fam mains. Kyle, yep. Yep. Okay, so, okay, yeah, and okay. Okay, so let's go over this right now. This looks like it wants to be very strike heavy with the emphasis of only blast in terms of the Kid Buu, which is actually ironically totally fine, and you can easily get away with that just because of how this team functions. And I can see that this team is very much so it wants to be as annoying as possible, so I can totally see this being as annoying as possible, so good job on that. I would make a couple of changes, but that's just me personally because of how I play. I like when Kid Buu is more on a blast-based team than a strike-focused team. That's just me personally. DKP is the exception because he's just great on both. Again, for her, I think I would keep her on the team just because of how much I like her as a unit and how she functions. But I would definitely me personally, if it's strike oriented, I put Android 21 Zenkai 7. But on a blast base, when this is like the LF Piccolo Zenkai 7, and we prioritize her over this big fat boy, then I definitely prioritize Kid Buu. Kid Buu is a fantastic unit. And honestly, you can easily use Kid Buu in a strike-oriented team. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just being an over-picky nitpicker. That's it. That's literally just me being a nitpicker. But overall, in terms of, like, synergy, I don't really have much to say. The equips are solid. I see where it's going. I understand what's the purpose of each equip. I could argue that maybe this equip could be subbed out for something a little bit better. But outside of that, I don't really have an issue. This is just overall very solid, so I can easily give this like a 9 in terms of synergy. I could also give it a 10 realistically, but I'm just gonna give it a 9 because I'm being a little shit. That's all. I'm just being a little shit. That's why. Okay, in terms of composition, team composition, again, I can also give it a 9 or a 10. It's just overall solid. Like, I personally would just switch that for the other one, only because she is a more strike-based unit and also can help support the overall damage output of your Buu, as well as your DKP, or alternatively, other DKP or Izamasu. So, realistically, it's only because of the support that she offers them that I would pick her over this guy. But this guy is fantastic as a standalone unit. He's great as just an overall damage damage unit. He also doesn't get debuffed for the first 60 timer count, so that's also fantastic. So there's ups and downs for both. Like, you have him at 6 stars, so that's makes him just a fantastic unit. Yeah, and then in terms of team power, I can give it a solid 10. Like, it's scary. It's a strong team. Like, if I see this team, I would know to not make too many mistakes. Done. Overall, good team. Finally. All right, let's take a look. We've got 6-star full power Frieza. We've got 14-star Zenkai 7 Cooler. We've got 12-star movie Space Monkey. We have 7-star LF Frieza. We've got 12-star green Cooler Metal. And we have this dude. He just exists. He's there to buff probably this guy, and that's about it. Okay. In terms of equips first and just overall buffs, let's see, we got Blast. All right, Strike more, Blast, beautiful, yeah, actually, that's really good. Yeah, okay. I don't have anything bad to say about this. I don't have a nitpick. I don't have questions. 10. In terms of the units that you've picked, 10. In terms of power, 10. All right, cool, good job. Nope, I have nothing to say about it. I mean, realistically, the next thing is maybe go to Zed in terms of your equips. I don't know. If you're happy with what you have, I don't have anything left to say about it other than just go ham. Enjoy. Get destroyed by a whole bunch of hybrid units. Just enjoy your time in DBL. All right, let's move on. Movies. See, that's what I thought in Terra. That's exactly what I thought. Let's not kid ourselves. No one really runs that Frieza to play him. Nobody at all. Ever. Diehard LOE fan, so I wailed out on LF. Full power Frieza's banner at all. Fair enough. He's a good space monkey. He's a fantastic space monkey. All right, so we got movies. So the movie saga from the Movies. And we got this Cancer Han, this little Shet right here. We got Gokua. We got this movie Borley. More Borley. Vegeta and Bujiak. Okay. All right. So, okay. All right. So, for movies in general, I do like this equip, but I would also definitely suggest that you put another equip that can also buff health. With Vegeta specifically, there are 2 equips that you can do that buff both health and health restoration. Prioritizing that on this Vegeta, especially in movies, matters, considering the fact that you don't have someone like Vados that can really fully support him the way you would want him to be supported. So that's my first already big gripe. Although this, I think, also buffs health. So actually, never mind. You're good. Just ignore that. This is good. Solid. Good job. Whoever you are, good job. In terms of this, all right. Okay. I'm getting some beeps. It's fine. Don't worry. I'll ignore it. Unless it's like for Rate My Team, then I'll get to it eventually. This is I'm buffing up for some more damage. I doubt this guy's getting used, but if he's getting used, I don't know why he's getting used because this guy's like way better. Yeah, I don't really have anything else. I don't have really anything bad to say about this. Great hybrids killer and just a solid unit. Fantastic defense and also a solid green. Defense and offense all in one and just absolutely annoying to deal with. Cancer red unit that is very good if you catch them with your transforming special ability. And then a lovely cover change unit that just says no. So, yeah, overall, I can give it a 7.5 out of 10 in terms of equip choices. I think, and the ability bonus, I think where I'm really docking points is the fact that movies can easily hit 3,000 at this point. So it's usually a matter of lack of synergy. And if I were to build a movies team, how would I build it, actually? I kind of want to see that, so I'm gonna double check that afterwards. But I feel like, okay, so one of the biggest things that I have gripes with are when you put critical based equips onto a team, especially when not everything is fully buffed up to its max. Because when I think of crits, I think of that as like extra stuff, as like an extra bonus if you can actually afford to put that there, and not so much as, yeah, I'll just put crits to hopefully get crits, because this is obviously not a Super Saiyan team. And then right now, movies. Does movies even have like a solid yellow unit outside of this Vegeta? So if Vitio Sus asks, why is health good for Vegeta? How does his ability link to it? All right, so I can explain that real quick. All right, so he's got a passive that gives him extra buffs when he has more health than the opponent. He also, when he switches in, if he has more health than the opponent when he switches in, he also adds himself a strike card, which means that if, let's say, you're trying to continue a combo or you're trying to finish a combo, this Vegeta, you can do that. But if he has lower health than his opponent, when the match starts or when you're switching in, you lose so many buffs. The guy is super balanced or super broken depending on the state of the game. So the higher health that you have with this Vegeta, even when you start off the match, dictates how useful that unit is until you've done damage to your opponent. And how much damage he gets, and also how much can he health restore, because he also has a form of health restoration. So when you have more health, you have more of a health pool to restore your health with. So it just really comes down to the fact that this Vegeta can really abuse health, which is why when you're seeing Vados and him together, it fixes up a lot of his issues. Whereas if you don't see Vados on a team, which is usually God Key or Rival Universe, but at that point, the only one he usually sees play on is God Key, if people choose to run him, then in that case, you fix up a lot of those mistakes that the kit really puts into itself. So realistically, it really comes down to the fact that the unit itself has flaws, and these particular like health buffs fix those flaws. Movies have Fem Borley, yeah, and Fem Borley is also a solid pick, but Fem Borley only buffs powerful opponents, and as much as most of these units are powerful opponents, this one isn't. However, yeah, you could definitely sub out with powerful opponents Fem Borley, and that would also be just as good, if not maybe better actually, because most of these are powerful opponent, except for the Gohan. Most. I'm not sure if Goku is powerful opponent. I have to double check that. So yeah, that would be that. So in regards to, yeah, the ability bonus, I'm saying, I think I said 7.5. Realistically, it just comes down to work on these, make them S. Work on this, make it S. Or maybe re-roll for this, but I don't think you can right now. So you have to just work on this to make it S. You can re-roll for this to have a better equipped version of that, so I would actually suggest doing that. You know, get that first slot to be red or gold, which means that it'd be easier S, and that you could potentially keep on working on it. So at the time, for now, you could keep this, and as you work on the other one, when that one becomes better than this one, switch it. Done. Simple as that. In terms of like the choices, like I said, choices-wise, I can still give it an 8. You could put Fem Borley. Fem Borley might actually be a better choice in terms of synergy, but in terms of overall tankingness and overall, like, just overall annoying, this unit is more annoying. 100%. Because this guy, when he cover changes, he will knock your opponent back. He just will. And you can chain it to a blue card, which is awesome. Whereas with Fem Borley, it's only strike, and he's not a very defensive unit. And this one isn't either, but this one is deceptively defensive because of how much he can annoy the opponent. He hits sometimes well, whereas Fem Borley only hits well if set up properly or with his ult. So, you know, it's either or have their issues. The only thing I like this over Fem Borley is the fact that this guy, you can actually find ways to abuse his kit. Whereas with Fem Borley, kit's kind of linear, and it kind of only cares for Sun Fam. But you could also argue, because of the hybrids meta with a lot of Sun Fam-based hybrids, that Fem Borley could be a better unit to have. So, you know, toss up. It's your choice. Personally, if it were me, probably would also go with this guy, because you're not always going to fight hybrids team. Unless I actually fight always hybrids, this is the unit of choice for me personally as well. But then again, for movies, I'm just not a big fan of their yellow options currently. Yeah. I mean, you could also sub in Zangia, though. Zangia's cool. Zangia's actually really good. At that point, I could just play Hera. And then in terms of Team Bauer, it's solid 8.5. Power's there. It's a very powerful team. Most units will be doing destructive damage. The weak link is the yellow. Done. All right, God Key main. Let's do it. It's all good, Corey. Don't worry. Just make your chicken nuggets. Enjoy them. Enjoy them. All right. Health buffer. Good. Why is this not a Z plus or a Z equip? Fix that. Let's see. Blast based. Clapku's there. Interesting. All right. So, most of it, happy with. Very good. Awakened. Okay, awakened equips. All right, all right. All right. This could either be very hyper defense or some offense. So, okay with that. I get it. This equip is hard to get to Z or Z+, so I 100% understand. This one's also hard to get beyond S, but you can. I would definitely say that while you can re-roll this, because I know you can't re-roll the first slot, but you can always re-roll the last 2 slots, so go for that. Yeah, so overall, I think this team is good. It's solid. I would definitely say re-roll this equip, because there's no reason why you can't have this at S. I have 2 equips of this that are S, and it's a solid equip. It's a very good equip, but I don't understand why it's at A. I will be picky on this one because this is an older equip. It is a solid equip. It is very defensive in nature with some blast opportunities. It's just too good to pass up. I'm willing to forgive any Awakened A. Awakening equips, it's a pain in the butt, 100%, so I understand. But this, no way I can forgive this. Fix that. And then obviously fix some of this, because I know you can't fix the first slot. I don't know why you didn't keep re-rolling for this. I don't care what your reasoning is. You should have re-rolled for it. Poo you. But no, I'm not actually, not poo you. Just enjoy. But fix those last 2 slots. Just do it. Just fix it. All right, so synergy-wise, I can easily give it like a 9 or 9.5 or even a 10. It's just really good. What am I supposed to say? It's a good team. It's solid. The only thing you're really missing is a red, but that's fine. That's actually fine. God Key is in one of those situations where if they have a good red unit, they can work with that. If they don't use a good red unit, they can also work with that. So, you know, I'm personally just okay with what I'm seeing. All right, now we're gonna go for team comp. This is where I have my actual opinions here. So this is all fine and handy-dandy until you get to Clapku. That one confuses me a bit because you are a blast-focused team, so, with some exceptions to Strike, which is why I'm wondering why Clapku is even there. I understand if you're interested in playing with Clapku, but at that point, I'm wondering why you're not running either the Zenkai 7 Vegeta or the Gogeta Blue. Like, Champa's a solid unit. Do not get me wrong. He's a phenomenal unit, but they don't mix very well. I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm just saying when the going gets tough and when you need particular arts cards, you might not see the arts cards you're looking for. Like Champa is not fun when he's using strike cards, whereas this guy, he's okay with either or. Right? So that's why I'm really focused on Champa getting as many blast options as possible. At that point, you could just say that this unit is good enough and you could just put in a health buffer. Because God Key with health buffs are quite irritating to deal with. And also, hi Chris, how you doing? But overall, in terms of like team comp, I can still give it like an 8.5. Team comp is still there. Even with the little bit of confusion, it is a solid team. It is still good. It still can do very well. And then in terms of team power, I can easily give this a 9 or a 10. Like, it has power. It can definitely do very well. Again, the only thing I'm actually worried for isn't even Clapku. I'm actually worried for Champa in this particular situation. Champa is going to struggle a little bit if he's seeing too many Strike Arts cards in his hand. That is it. Otherwise, I have no issues. I understand that, Mike, but you gotta understand that double defense doesn't matter if there's no extra health buff to exponentially increase how your defensive nature works. Because the more you add defense to your team, because of how percentages work in this game, the actual less and less defense you actually add on. So at that point, to increase the capacity of how much your defense actually applies to your team, you need to add health. So that's one of the biggest reasons why I wonder if Clapku is actually even necessary. Or alternatively, switch out Beerus, put in the health buffer, and keep Clapku on. I mean, realistically, I personally would be more on the line at this point, based upon how I'm seeing the team, to focus it on Blast 2, which means I would drop Clapku myself. But that's just me. I have particular setups for specific teams. That's just how I do it. I rock double defense on all my teams. Yeah, double defense on all teams are fine, but you can also put in some health buffs to make that even better. All right, let's take a look. Rocket launcher, 0 out of 10. Health is good defense. Yeah, health is good, defense is good. Exactly. Combining them allows for triple defense to make sense. It also allows for double defense to make even more sense. You know, health just increases the overall capacity of your defensive nature. So if you put a lot of defense, put also a lot of health, means your units will just basically never die. And we like that. All right, so we've got a Sun Fam team. Kind of. No. Wait. It's like a Sun Fam team, but it is kind of like a color counter team too. Interesting. Because there is a focus on buffing blue, while also buffing, like, just probably running these 3 units in the front. All right, let's talk about this. All right. So, does anyone want to tell me what they see problematic with these first 2 equips? Right here and here. Does anyone want to tell me why we don't run this equip? Why this equip right here and this equip right here? No bueno. Why do we not run this? Can anyone tell me? Can anyone tell me? Hello, Vorders. How you doing? I see you there. It's Goku team. Well, mainly. But why do we not run these 2 equips? They not good? Nope, they're not good. Need an EX unit. And what else? What else do you need? You need an EX unit, but what else do you need on your team at the time? Well, it's not that they buff EX. No. You can buff EX or a sparking with this equip. What is the problem with the equip? It's EX and Saiyan. Exactly, not EX and Saiyan. When you were looking at this equip, when you put this equip on, you're telling me that I got a B. I have a B equip with this. Because we're losing out on the last slot completely. Because every single game that this team goes in, when you're putting in these 2 particular units, this one and this one, that means every single round that you play, this unit right here has to be on the team, as in active in the game, not on your bench. He has to be in the actual battle along with these 2 units. And I can tell you right now, this person is definitely not bringing in this unit. 100%. This is a health buff. This is not a unit that is being brought in. If it is being brought in, that's the biggest cheese I've ever seen in my life. And then on top of that, if you brought in this instead, he's not a Saiyan. So they, again, don't qualify for both conditions to be met. So already we have an issue where these 2 equips are being underused and not even being properly assessed for this particular team. So that's already a pain in the butt. Hello, I'm much grinding for a racer and watching stream. What about you? Well, I'm just streaming, so good luck on the eraser grinding. It's a pain in the butt. Exactly. And it's interesting because a lot of people don't read. And that's not actually necessarily your fault. Sometimes we don't read carefully too. And in this case, this is one of those equips where I thought, wow, it's amazing, until I reread and realized, wait, that doesn't say or, that says and. And when it says and, it really makes it difficult to have variety with that particular team. Yeah, so there you go, Joy. So you're actually killing your team by putting those two particular equips on the team. So the more you know. All right, and then in regards to this equip, as long as you're only running your Gokus or Raditz, then this equip is perfect. Don't change it. You don't have to. It's a fantastic equip. Again, this equip I don't really like unless you're running it on Super Saiyans or something that can have high crit ratios. The equip on this Goku isn't necessarily bad, but it isn't great, and you are missing out on some maybe more relevant buffs. It's especially critical when you're running an equip that covers for hybrids. You want more, like at this point, how I see this unit is he's got 3 B equips on him. Unless he's fighting hybrids, in which case he has 2 B equips, maybe an A equip, and then definitely 1 S equip. That's how I see it when I look at these type of equips, the type of setup here. But overall, not bad in terms of having a hybrid equip. This equip I would change for something that's maybe more defensive, maybe a health buff, maybe even just more strike and blast attack. That's your call. You can vary that up as you find fit. It depends on what you change for this particular equip too. But the fact of the matter is, since he is a defensive unit, maybe you could add a health buff or another defense along with a health buff. Something to think about. I'm not going to harp too hard on this, because although I will harp a little bit on that, it all depends if you run this unit, if you bring this unit in or not. If you don't, then it doesn't matter. If you do, maybe consider changing this equip. This equip is fine. I'm willing to accept it due to the fact that it's a hybrids meta. Yeah, this is just a buffer, and then this is just a buffer. Cool. Overall, in terms of like your synergy, I'm gonna have to give you like a 5. You're killing your team currently. You're killing it. Like you're literally taking a gun, putting it on your foot, shooting it, then you're slicing open your stomach, and then you're saying, "Okay, let's fight." And I don't want you to do that to yourself. The idea is when you're fighting someone, you don't shoot yourself in the foot maybe twice, and then slash open your stomach and say, "Okay, now we can have a fighting. We can fight." That just seems kind of counterintuitive when you're trying to have a fair fight. You're disadvantaging yourself. Yeah. In terms of team comp, though, I like the way that this is going. I understand the setup. So as a result, I can easily give that like an 8.5. The team setup makes sense to me. You have options. You can also do purple, double blue if you want. You can do yellow, blue, purple. You can do blue, yellow, blue. You have options. I like that. That's really cool. I can also, like I said, 8.5 is easy. And then in terms of team power, I'm going to have to dock some points based upon the equips. They're definitely hurting your power, so I would definitely give you only a 7. It's definitely at least on the average side, because the team itself is already really powerful, and if properly used, they will buff themselves over time, especially this GT Goku. And as a result, they'll still be doing tons of damage despite having the equips that are hurting it. But instead of hurting yourself, you might as well just not and make it easier on yourself. There you go. So, yeah, that's what I would definitely say. So, again, power, I'm giving you a 7 only because your equips really hinder your overall competitive viability with the particular team that you have. All right, moving on. No problem, Joy. All right, next up we've got, I believe this is a movies team, kind of. Let me just see. It could be powerful opponent or movies. Either one. Got Borley. We got Borley, we got Fem Borley, we got Borley, we got Vegeta, and we have Braid Dude, the guy with the braids. Okay, so. Okay, we got a buff if we want to use that. We have this guy. I do not think they're bringing in this. I think he's a health buffer. So I think the actual team is this. Borley at all times. It's just triple Borley. So actually, let's talk about it. Let's see what we have here. If we're running this EX Saiyan, then in that case, these two particular equips at all times, these two particular equips make sense, and I get it. If, however, this person is running this one, and this one, these two equips are a pain in the butt. Get rid of them. So it really comes down to this. Who do you think is better, Zenkai 21 or Blue 18? Personally, for Cardinal, I would definitely say it depends on the stars of Blue 18. If Blue 18 is only 6 stars or below, Zenkai 21 is better. Just straight up. But again, it depends on what your playstyle is. If you're looking for more like one-shotting or potentially like just extra damage and a little bit of combo extension, then I definitely say 18 is your go-to unit. But if you're looking for more of a supportive unit, a unit that can debuff, a unit that can continuously combo extend and can buff overall the team on top of debuffing, then I say Zenkai 21. It depends on playstyle for that. All right, so like I said, as long as these two are paired up with this unit right here, these equips are totally fine. It is only if you are running this particular unit that I say no to these equips. These equips cannot be ran in a team that isn't running this EX poorly. So, I hope that this unit is being used alongside these two. If not, change the two equips. Yo, Valk, how you doing? And then another thing that I would definitely say is awaken this. He's got an ult. He's got a blue card. Awaken it. Just awaken the Vegeta's equip. It is just so good to awaken. Awaken it, please. So overall, in terms of like synergy, I will give it a 7. It has synergy. It can make sense. There is defense on it. A reason why I can't give it 7.5 is because although this equip does make sense in prospects of Borley, again, we're not running Bardock, so it's questionable because it doesn't always proc in terms of like the damage and increase in crit. But defenses are there, so yeah, so I'll give it a 7. In terms of team comp, I mean, you really only have access to 3 units. So it's an interesting situazione. Oh, can it not? Let me just double check the the conditioning for that. Let's see. Let me see. You might be right. Let's see. This is the movie's Vegeta, right? Yeah. Let me see. We might be able to double check that real quick. Do 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 do. Bada bada do 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 do. Bada bada do 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 do. Vegeta melee type. Let me just double check the typing for that particular unit. You might be right because I don't know if he's actually Vegeta. I mean, not Vegeta. He's melee type. So let me just double check. Not that one. I just want to see, because I want to see if I can find the unit. So he covers specifically. I just want to figure out what type of unit he is. He's a defensive unit. Yep. So yeah, he cannot. Yeah, you know, you're right. So I can't awaken this. Yeah, no, you're right. This can't be awakened. That's a pain. That means. Okay, but that just means that this equip particularly, in that case, I'd put more defense on this unit altogether. And even then, I don't see this unit being used over this Borley, only because of how this team is functioning, and also based upon the fact that he's not even 6 stars. And it depends if you're running like double purple and a green, or purple, yellow. So it's you know, it's just all there. Yo, Fujimatsu, I'm feeling pretty well. So thank you. I'll ask Emily if we can get like a link sent in here, or alternatively, Axel, if you can just drop in a link, that would be pretty cool. I mean, it's your call, really in that regard. Okay, but anyways, thank you, Vorders, for that. Okay. Because, yeah, the conditions for that, it's actually annoying. The fact that it's melee. That's pain. Yeah, I guess he is just a bench, but at that point, I would just wonder, maybe work on it, get him to 6, get the that bench to be a little bit more oomph. Okay. So yeah, comp, I can give it a 7. Like, I can see it doing well. I can see it has synergy. I'm just, again, the lack of blue and red kind of hurt. But you know. The top 3 Brolys are what you're running. Yeah, then in that case, yeah, no. These 2 equips, no bueno, Joy. No bueno. Get rid of them. Yo, Phil. Good to see your silver equips more. Yeah, I know, eh? Silver equips are not bad, actually, guys. So don't be afraid of silver equips. Gold equips aren't always the best. But generally speaking, yeah, the general idea is that gold beats silver beats bronze, blah, blah, blah. But doesn't always mean that silver equips are bad. Just means that it depends on the type of silver equip and who it's attached to, as well as does it have an awakening and how good is that awakening. That's all. Are silver equips easier to S rank? I don't know. That's dependent. I'd have to look that up. I'm not sure on that one. But I would definitely say this. Silver equips might be just because of like the margin, the ratio in which it is, but I think it depends on the equip, because some equips have great reroll value, whereas others are just a pain in the butt to reroll. So I think that is actually more dependent equip to equip than is it because it's silver or is it because it's gold. Yeah. And as Zephyr said, it depends on which one, exactly. All right. Overall, I feel like this is an okay team. I just feel like that you can't run this Femborly. You just can't. Or you have to replace the equips. So there you go. God Key. Here we go. More God Key. Let's do it. Okay, let's look at this. We got A's, an S with A's. So at least everything is solid. Everything is pretty much set up. I do appreciate that. All right. Okay, so let's talk about it. It looks like it's very blast oriented. I appreciate that. As 2 purples, so I guess it really depends on which one you want to use more, whether it's your Vegeta blue or if it's your UI. I mean, it's all up to you. I feel like Vegeta blue has a little bit more defense, but UI is a little bit more tricky to deal with. So it really just depends. And I mean, you can definitely make Vegeta blue more tricky by just, activating the green card. And that can be really annoying because they could actually damage the Dragon Ball count, which is nice. So it's good Mabagios. Overall, what I would definitely say is the equips themselves don't actually bother me as much as just the next step, because I can already see what the next step is. It's to re-roll and to make them better. That's it. You're just here to re-roll at this point, make it a little better. So I 100% understand, and I get it. So overall, in terms of synergy, I'm going to give it a 7. I would normally give it a little bit lower, considering this is God Key, and usually God Key should easily be hitting like 2,500 plus. But the fact of the matter is, I can already see the setup, and I see what the next steps are. It will be for re-rolling. At least that's what I can see. So I can agree with this. I understand it, and as a result, I'm not going to be too nitpicky on it. Okay. And then in terms of Bauer, it's blast focused. No red, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Give it an 8. Solid. And in terms of so that's wait, that was for power. For comp, team comp. Yeah, for team comp, I can easily give it like a 9. I'm going to reserve 10s for like something that I can't think of for anything that can be better. Like, for example, for this, you could easily switch it with Zamasu, like the red Zamasu, just to have a red unit on the team. Either or you could switch. You could also just keep it as it is. So as a result, it's just because there's no actual, like, necessarily best way to play in this particular situation. Or alternatively, you could put Beerus to buff, like Zenkai buff Vados. Not necessary. It's not necessary, but you can do it. So yeah. So yeah, 7. I would say after that 8 and then 9. So overall, good job. All right, so now we've got a future team. We've got a Le 6 Stars Rosé. We've got a 14-star Vegeta Blue. We've got a 6-star Izumisu. We've got a 14-star Goku LeBlack. Yo, Corey, enjoy those chicken nuggies. Enjoy them. We've got 6-star Future Gohan. And we've got Mai, which is at 14 stars for the health buff. Okay, so let's talk about this. Okay. Strike, blast, defense. Good, good, good. Strike, blast. Okay, yeah. 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 Do I really need to really discuss this other than 10? 10. 10. Strike oriented? Check. Health buffer? Check. Defense with health and just overall general average stat buffing up? Check. Ability bonus above 3,000 and it's a future freaking team? Check. Yeah. Moving on. All right, so let's look at T-Saint's team. It's a Vegeta family team. So let's take a look. Okay. 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 Interesting. Okay. Strike based, strike based, strike based. Blast or strike. Blast or strike. Blast based, but can do some solid strike. All right, so here's what I'm going to say. Here's what I'm going to say real quick. Okay, so guys, for the to join my to actually let's go over how to join the Discord pretty easily, okay? Because I know the Discord is sometimes difficult for some people. So when you are joining in, so you're gonna first be probably brought here. Where's the welcome? I want you to go to the rules, and then I want you to check mark here. So right here, not this. This is just telling me that you've read this, but this is telling me that you've reacted to this. So you want to check this thumbs up down here. This thumbs up down here matters more. So we're just doing this little interruption so that you guys understand what you're supposed to click. This thumbs up right here. Right here. Like, you can't see my finger, so it really doesn't matter. But right here will actually be how you're going to enter my Discord a lot simpler. From there are different subsections. So we've got general. I'm going to reduce general down. You're going to find stream. Under stream, rate my team. And that is how you're going to find what you're looking for, okay? Okay, and now we're going to go back up because I know I was somewhere. Yeah, I was here. So Demon Slayer gave me this. I saw that, so I'm going to go grab it. So it's from UI Hokage. Okay, so technical Soldix, that's how you're going to do it. Yeah. So I know a lot of people get confused in that regards, so that's why. You want to click on the thumbs up to the rules, and that's where the react is, where the bad Janet is, not here. I know a lot of people click that, so as a result, you're like, I think that's what I click, and then it doesn't work, and you're like, why didn't it work? So that's why. Okay. Anyways, let's go back to this because I want to cover this team because that's what we were doing just before that thing happened. Okay. Yeah, I have something like that, Star Genie. I have something like that. It's a pain. It's a pain in the butt, but it is what it is. You kind of work with what you have. Okay, so I feel like Saint already knows this, but in case they don't, this Vegeta is very, very, what's the word for it? He's very discriminatory. Like, he's actually super discriminatory. It's actually insane. Okay, so let's talk about why he is super discriminatory and why he's a specific boy of specificness. All right? Or maybe I'm thinking of a different character. I'm thinking of a different character. Never mind. This boyo on his own is fine. So it's not this boyo. Never mind. We're good. I think I was thinking of, maybe I'm thinking of the Trunks. Maybe, let me look at the green Trunks. Or maybe it was actually the blue Zenkai 7 Trunks. That actually might be it. It might be the Zenkai 7 Trunks. He's actually probably the discriminatory little piece of shit. There's so many Vegeta family units, and yet there's so many more Sun Fam. It's actually insane. So if I were to look up the stupid green Trunks, Transformazione. Let me just look for this little shit. Because I actually want to pull them up real quick. So no, he's cool too. Okay, so you don't have like a very pain in the butt team, so that's good. This, because I see it's a very strike oriented team until we have like a particular couple of units. Then it can become very blast focused, and that's also very okay. All right, so we got Majin Vegetes. Like overall, let me just look at this real quick. All right, so for synergy wise, I could easily give this, I would give it more so a 9 than a 10. And my reasoning for this is particularly because why is this not not pushed to S at least? Like, just give me an S. I'm gonna be that picky. I'm also gonna be picky because I'm seeing this equip and I'm just like, yes, you can buff his blast, his base blue card, but you could also just like not lose out on a slot that is buffing critical base damage up. So yeah, you could just like not, and that would be cool. And then this particularly is great, I think, against Saiyans in terms of defense. But last time I checked, we're up against hybrids. So, but I guess also because of health buffs, right? So that's fine. It's a mixed bag for me because it does what it serves to do here. So I don't like entirely hate it. I'm more so like I feel attacked by this. This, however, I feel like you could change it for something that's a little bit more generic. Just because I don't know how many Saiyans you're fighting. Like, do you generally fight do you generally fight Saiyans, or are you fighting hybrids mainly? I'm still trying. Oh my god. For this particular equip, I just want to know, are you fighting a lot of Saiyans, or are you mainly fighting hybrids? Because if you're fighting hybrids, then I feel like a more generic equip might be better for him. I'm fine with this. This is fine. I guess you're adding blast and a little bit of crit. Okay. I mean, that's fine considering you're probably gonna have to mix bag this little child. I'm totally on board with this. And then I'm totally on board with this. So in terms of like your team comp, I can give you a 10. And then in terms of team power, I can give you a 10. I think the only thing I'm gonna really like harp on you is your synergy. Just a couple of little minor details that if you fix up, I can give you a 10. If you're fighting mainly hybrids, then in that case, this equip to me makes no sense. Some of these equips, if you can find something that also gives health buffs while also not having to deal with, that mainly deals with something else and not Saiyans, could also help. And then this, I'm particularly like really wondering if these 5 equips are actually quite necessary. Well, okay, not this one. These 4 equips. This one is necessary. Keep that. And then this one I'm okay with just because of how you've set this up. So I'm okay with that. Yeah. So otherwise, great team. Good job. But if you're mainly fighting hybrids, I do have some questions in regards to your Saiyan-based buffs. That's all. Like for the equips themselves. All right. So yeah, the final score for that was 9, 10, 10. Synergy 9, 10 is composition, 10 is power. All right, Rival Universe. Let's take a look. Where are all these whales coming from? And why do you make me feel like I'm not even like a dolphin? I don't feel like I've spent any money in this game. Jeez, guys, you're making me feel like I am tiny. I'm a tiny boy. All right, let's take a look. We got a 14-star Bergamo. He's a monster. I have fought units like this before. Have I beaten these type of units before? Yes. Is it a pain in the butt because it's like fighting a Zenkai unit? Absolutely. Health buffs. Okay. I do question this equip, not because it's a bad equip, but just because it's a strike-oriented equip, and it helps against red units, and I feel like Vados could just benefit from, like, literally anything else. I'm assuming if Champa's coming in, Vados is coming in at all times. Everything else I don't hate. Everything else is fine. Everything else is good and dandy. I mean, realistically, you could also put, like, this plat equip on this, and that would be better off for Vados than this equip itself. NXRJ is just like, oof. Pretty good score. Thanks, Phil. No problem, Saint. There's always a bigger fish. Yeah, exactly. All right, so... Again, I probably could give this like a 9 out of 10, like in terms of synergy. Synergy's all there. I agree with every unit choice. I think that this overall team is just really solid. Yeah. Terms of comp, let's take a look. We got a defensive tank plus health buffer. We have Champo with Vados. We have not Cafla. We have Cauliflower, which is a very solid strike unit and also very good against Saiyan-based units. So a solid choice to pick if you're up against Saiyans. Topo is a pain in the butt to deal with, and Jiren is also a very big pain in the butt to deal with. So overall, again, I can give it like a 10. Comp is fine. Power is fine at 10. It's 9, 10. It's like 9, 10, 10. Good job. Whoever you are, good job. Alrighty, and we have God Key. Hello, UV. How you doing? Very good. He just destroyed Saiyan. Yup. Yo, Blink DD, how you doing? What'd I do, lol? Nothing. You didn't do anything. Haven't seen her being used ever, but that's good to know. What? NXRJ, the cauliflower? The cauliflower, or what? What specifically? Or was it Vados? Just let me know, and I'll make mention of what you can do, what you can change, what you can do. Anyways, okay, let's talk about this. So we're gonna look at equips. We're gonna look at what we can do to make this better. And first up and foremost, it's all good, UV. I hope you enjoyed the movie. Why is this a B equip? Why? Yeah, Cauliflower. Yeah, a Cauliflower is a fantastic strike unit, especially she does extra damage against Saiyans. So yeah, keep on the lookout for when you're up against a Saiyan team. Having her on the team and potentially having Vados paired up with her is a fantastic thing. So one thing you could do is you could do Vados, Topo, and then her. Topo can be your endurance unit / your defensive tank. Or alternatively, if they don't have any good, like, green, if they have very good green units, you can switch it for Bergamo. Bergamo is also a fantastic tank. So you have an option between red and blue. And on top of that, Vados can just keep on healing up your team. And on top of that, Cauliflower can just stay in when you're taking advantage and then potentially just completely nuke the opponent. So yeah. You never rated my Broly team I made for you last week. I did, actually. You should go back and check that. Since I like broccoli. I love broccoli. Broccoli is fantastic. Okay, so let's talk about the big elephant in the room. We got some B equips. I'm not pleased by that. Just genuinely not pleased. Not pleased. Don't be showing me B equips. I feel hurt. I feel like I'm being attacked here. I feel like I'm being attacked here. So yeah, if you have B equips, fix it. Otherwise, overall, let's see. I mean, some of these things can be awakened, some of them not. I would do a lot of re-rolling. Like, having a gold slot or a red slot for these first equips and then working on them, to me, makes a lot more sense than just having all green equips. I mean, green slots. That's just me personally. But if you don't want to re-roll, then re-roll the last 2 slots to try to get them at least to S. Minimum. So yeah, overall in terms of synergy, I'm gonna have to give it like an 8. There's a couple of things I would love to change, and on the fact of the matter is, God Key is a very easy thing to get to 3,000. So the fact that this didn't hit 3,000 is due to the equips and due to the fact that they're not properly set up in terms of like how much you can buff them. So as a result, I will have to only give it an 8. In terms of team composition, however, let's take a look. We got a fantastic green, blue, red, purple, and yellow with a buffer for said yellow unit. I have nothing to say about this other than fantastic job. That's a solid 10 in terms of team comp. Alternatively, instead of buffing Champa, you could always buff this girl, or you could have a health buffer. I mean, realistically, I'm okay with any of those choices. It's fine either way. And then in terms of team power, again, 10. I can see this doing a lot of damage. I just worry about Champa because Champa doesn't really need this plot equip. He does not do good strike-based damage, and as a result, it's not necessarily very relevant. But I can still give this overall team power. Could I give it a 10 or should I give it a 9? I might give it a 9. Maybe even an 8. Let me just think about this. If I were to take this, and we're taking about for overall base damage, and if we were to actually go in, if I was to switch into Gohan, for example, for overall, could I tank this? Yes, I could. If I were to do this, okay, he's got a health buff. He's got, but then this Champa is actually not doing as much. He's a very solid unit. He's got the buffs for this, so it does fix up some of the things here. Vados could definitely buff up the team. Could Vados just die in one shot, though, with a blue card? Yes. Yeah, I'd give it a 9. 9 overall for power. But overall, good job. All right. I got to bail now. All right, Nudie Pie, take care. Have a great rest of the night, okay? Cheers. All right, let's go back to rate my team because we got to grab more teams. More teams. Open. 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 I'm just going to open a whole bunch, guys, so just give me one moment. Okay, we'll just open this. Work in progress, so it's going to change. Sounds good. Zeph. One, two, three. Okay. Okay. Just going to open a whole bunch. We got a winky face. It's cool with me. Just gonna open up more. So many to open. Okay, let's see. This is God Key. This is God Key. I think I'm gonna focus on particularly this one at the bottom to just really see. My gosh, guys, there's a lot. Beautiful. We're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to speed. There's gonna be some speeding right here. Be so much speeding. All right, here we go. It's gonna be like deja vu all over again. It's all good, Nashwin. You're overall already on the right track, so I'm totally legit. I feel like it's legit. Don't worry about it. Okay, here we go. How late am I? Very, very late, my dude. All right, so let's take a look at this real quick. Okay, we got movies. We got Fem Borley, solid movies unit, but obviously buffs powerful opponents, so not everyone's getting a lot of buffs. Actually, the only people that are getting buffs are these first 3 Borleys. This Frieza is not even a powerful opponent unit, so there you go. Yeah. So he's not getting buffed by this unit. He's buffing himself and those Borleys up there, but that's it. Okay, so let's talk about these equips and figure out where we put this on the synergy scale. So we put a lot of defense. We've definitely added defense to this Borley. And then with the green card, he actually has some solid defense even at 2 stars. Although How perfect that is, it's really dependent. I don't know. We'll have to see. Okay. Okay. In terms of overall equips, I definitely put this guy with as much defensive properties as possible. The more health and defense this particular Borley gets, the more his main ability and just his overall playability increases, and that's especially true on Super Saiyans or in movies. So I would definitely maybe focus a little bit more on finding equips that work with him that are both defensive and health based, on top of having Fem Borley, because the more you have that, the more he can tank, the more mistakes you can make, and the more this guy will survive. This Borley, I like the setup, so just work on the equips. And then in terms of this Borley, yeah, he's solid too. I personally would say that if you could, find an equip that also buffs his blue card. His blue card is devastating, so I would definitely say this green Borley definitely could use a nice blue card boof. This Gogeta's solid. I would definitely say just work on this awakened equip and work on this equip if you can. If you are not running this Gogeta and you're running this Frieza, I am fine with these. I would re-roll and get like a red or gold slot. And then as for this equip, I feel like there are better equips out there that you could run, like a health restoration equip, along with the ability to increase blue card. I think there's an equip for that for Frieza, so you could do that. So there you go. And then this Fem Borley, he's your only yellow. Change this. Everything else is fine. Just work on them. Maybe reroll, get a gold slot for the first, and then go from there. To leave, to love and leave you guys. I gotta wake up early tomorrow. Enjoy your morning, afternoon, night. All right, take care, UV. Have a great night. Okay, take care of yourself. All right, so for synergy overall, I will have to give this. I think I would give this only a 6.5. I think the issues are that there could be better setups for this Borley, especially with how this team works. It can definitely be a very defensive team, and I like that. But I also think that in that case, you really need to prioritize that defense and health. In terms of comp, however, composition-wise, it has every single color that you need for a movies team, so I can easily give this an 8. I think if there were any changes that I would do, not much changes I would do. It's a solid team. I think movies are just in a very strange place, and on top of that, I think for movies, I would personally run the LF Gohan. I think that Borley has his place, but it's more so at this point on Super Saiyans. So, yeah. And then in terms of team power, I could give it a 9. It has lots of power. Also, this Borley is just a pain in the butt if he feints you. All right, the losers. Okay, so what is my issue? Because I have issues here. See this equip? Where's your EX Saiyan unit? Where is your EX Saiyan unit? Because I don't see any. Get rid of this equip. No, it doesn't work. Where's your Vegeta family unit? Where's your Vegeta family unit? Where is the Vegeta family unit? This also doesn't work. Okay, so there's a defensive and critical buff up, but I would focus more on either strike or blast with this unit. It's a solid unit. You have a very good, interesting team. It's not necessarily the best thing in the world, but it's not awful. And there is a lack of focus, but at least that lack of focus can be fixed. But Yeah, and then this one can be awakened. There's really no reason why this is not awakened for this particular unit, because it is a female, but this just overall is a way better like equip once awakened, even if you have a green slot at the very front. Everything else is fine. Like at that point, I'm okay with everything else. I think it just comes down to the fact that you need to rework this equip, find something else. Awaken this, change that. As long as you're finding hybrids, totally legitimate. And then a lot of this will just be re-rolling to get gold slots at your front. And if you do that, I will very much enjoy this. But overall, in terms of synergy, at this point, I can only give you a 5. I feel like that was painful. That was actually painful. I felt like I was in pain. All right. And then in regards to team comp, it's a God Key team. So let's take a look. We've got a purple. We just don't have a red. Okay. Are these really good together? Yes. Is this really good with them? Yes. Are these two good with this one? Yes. Can you work with these 3? Yes. Can you do an alternate with Goku Black? Absolutely. Would I? No. I would definitely keep Vados. So at that point, I feel like you change Goku Black for someone else. Unless you're doing full-on strike, in which case you could drop Vados, but I still really like Vados. Vados is really good. And Vados, I feel like, is just such insane support that there's really no reason not to keep Vados on the team. But you could change it with Goku LeBlack, and then in that case, it would be more strike-based. But based upon the fact that I see that it's mainly blast-based, I feel like Goku Black can easily be dropped for a health buffer or for some more buffs. Overall, so like I said, 5 for synergy. For team comp, I could definitely give it like a 7. It's definitely solid. And then in terms of team power, I can also give it a 7. It definitely has power. It's just on the lower. It's not on the high end. Vegetables. Let's take a look. 14. 5, which is fine. Okay, let's take a look at the equips first and foremost. Is this guy a strike unit? Is he a melee unit? I gotta double check that right now, because I'm not sure. But if he's a melee unit, then this can be awakened. If it's not, then we'll address that. Let me just double check that real quick. He's a melee unit, so this can be awakened. So I would definitely say awaken this, because even if you get like an awakened A, it's still better than your non-awakened A. This guy, I don't think he's a melee unit. I think he's like either defense or something, so that you can leave it. And I believe he's ranged, so that's fine. Overall, I would change this equip. And then I would just add equips to this. Just because you can. Like, there's no reason not to add equips. It just helps your overall ability bonus. So you might as well do it. And then, yeah, you'd be okay. That would be solid. I would be okay with that. Overall, in terms of synergy, I would definitely give you a 7. Like, I have not much to say other than you can awaken, change that equip, find something better for this vegetable, and then on top of that, everything else seems to be okay. You're fighting hybrids, cool beans. It's fine. So yeah. Otherwise, I don't have much to say else. The equips make sense to me, at least for the most part, and as a result, I have not much to harp on, so I can give you a 7 on that. In terms of comp, I'll give you an 8. This is a very good unit. I would personally prefer if you had like the Zenkai 7 GT Vegeta, but I can also understand that maybe you don't have the CC for that, or you did not prioritize this team as much as you could have. So as a result, fine. If you're going for a more strike-based team anyways, then in that case, for a red unit, you could do both, honestly. And this green Vegeta, despite him being old, he's not horrible. He's just not great. You could argue that you could run the green Trunks, like any multitude of green Trunks, but I also definitely see an actual like argument for this unit. It's just that he's not tanky as he used to be, and his only real claim to fame at this point is his ability to lock in. That's it. But he's also got some healing, so that's nice. And he's not horrible, like I said. It's just, you gotta be careful if you use this unit. So, and then in terms of power, I can give it a 7.5. There's power. There's power backing this. It's just maybe not at its best. But this Vegeta carries, for sure, easily. All right, we got future. So let's go over this. Okay. All right, so I have some issues already. This I feel doesn't make sense in the scope of what he is. It's good against Sunfam. I hope you're at the Sunfam buff. I mean, you could argue that this equip is okay, but I argue that maybe you could just find a more generic equip, or like those equips that also buff his ult and his blue card at the same time. Health buffs are great. I love them. Focusing on strike is also fine. This makes sense, especially if you're dealing with regen. If you put that slot to be regen, mind you, because you could also choose not to. This is an okay equip. These are fine. That's fine. This is fine. Here's where I have an issue. If you are running this equip, do never, ever pair this guy with these two. Ever. Just ever. As long as you are able to keep this guy concentrated within these other 3 units, then this equip is totally legitimate. Otherwise, change the equip. The equip doesn't fully function without just being always paired up with Saiyans. So just keep that in mind. And then this equip, again, if you're not focused on a crit-based team, which you're not, it's just not necessarily the best equip to have on your team. But overall, in terms of synergy, I can easily give this a 7.5. It has everything that I'm looking for. It's just there's a couple of minor issues that I would definitely circumvent, but you can circumvent them. So as a result, I don't see a reason to go below 7, and honestly, I don't see a reason to even hit the average. In terms of composition-wise for a future team, we got boom, 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 boom. Yep, I can give it a 9. It's a solid comp team. Is it on the lower end of stars? Absolutely, but that doesn't mean much. And then in regards to whatchamacallit, in terms of power, I can give it an 8. It has a lot of power. There's just a couple of units that I'm thinking on the more defensive side that will just get completely wiped out. But you do have this, so I can't give it below an 8. It's just not possible. Vegeta fam, let's go. Okay, so let's see. Does Goku Black get the God Key Z ability buffs from the team in combat before he transforms? No. No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No way, Jose. So, you know, you gotta actually think about that before you do something like that. Also, I just want to see how much I've been picking up here. Okay, I'm just gonna pick up my CC because I want my CC. Because I've been playing each time that I have my hands down, which might be why I'm a little distracted. So, don't mind me. I'm just, you know, trying to pick up some things. I'm just trying to grab things for my Tem for this raid, because I'm trying to get my Borley up. So yeah, I did my 20 battages though, so that's nice. And I now have a 6-star Borley, but I still have to work harder. I've been so slow. All right. So anyways, let's go to Vegeta fam. Like I said, so we got another vegetable team. So we got another green of Vegetes, which I totally agree with. And look, it's awakened. All right, so let's see if there's anything really to discuss. Could you run the Zenkai 7 Trunks? Yes, you could. Could you also run the Majin Vegetes? Yes, you could. So either or is fine. Yeah, you could. Absolutely. This is definitely more blast focused, but Majin Vegetes just doesn't care. So you could ignore that. So in terms of synergy, let's go and let's take a look. Okay, cool. See, this all makes sense to me. Everything is just set up in a way that it all cries out fine. The only thing is, obviously, this is an A equip, but I don't think it matters considering this is the unit being chosen most likely. So, in regards to synergy, it's a solid 10. In terms of comp, 10. In terms of power, 10. Moving on. I have nothing else to say. All right, hybrids. And it is a purple-red team. All right, so, okay, first things first. Let's look at the synergy just real quick. Should I replace God Vegeta with Gogeta Blue when he's at higher stars? For which team, Nashwin? If you're saying for movies, you could. Yeah, you could. Yeah. Let's see. Awaken this. No reason for this to not be awakened. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, so for synergy-wise, I would only give this a 9. There's really no reason why this isn't awakened. Just awaken this. God Key? Yeah, you can also do that for God Key. So Gogeta Blue, yeah, absolutely. Instead of God Vegeta, yeah, 100%. 6 stars, and Gogeta Blue is a definite God Key unit, 100%. I'm just a simp for Majin Vegeta, so no way I'm using Trunks. Also, that A equip I rolled like 70 times to say luck is not on my side. All right, fair enough, Plankton. All right, so for synergy, yeah, 9 in terms of team comp. I'll also give it a 9. And the only reason why I'm giving it a 9 is because where are your Zenkai 7s? A lot of these are Zenkai 3, 2, and 1. So you're getting a 9 for that. And then in regards to power, I can give you a 10. Like, it's solid. The power is there. I can see damage being made. Good job. Olympians. Let's take a look. So, okay. This is a God Key team, so let's take a look. We got Blast Focus until we got Strike Focused. All right, so this is a little confusing, but that's fine. You can play Strike Base with this, Strike with that. You can also do Blast. He's right there. Okay, let me just look at the equips first. That will give me a better understanding of how this is going to go. This can be awakened. Even a awakened S is better than a non-awakened Z, so you might as well just awaken that. These are fine. Okay. 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 All right, so then in terms of synergy, I'm going to give it 9.5. 9.5 only because that should just be awakened. There's really no reason not to awaken it. Just awaken it. Free to play. It takes a while to get them, but that's for the 9s. No problem. Okay. Where do you get that equip? Which equip, Godspeed? Which equip? All right, so let us go over this. Okay, in terms of composition, I'm not a big fan of doing Strike and Blast simultaneously. I feel like it does hurt on those crucial moments where you actually need to be dealing damage, and with a particular type of card. And I'm mainly referring to people like Vados, or people like Gogeta Blue, because his Strike is phenomenal, but his Blast, not so much. It's not horrible, it's just not great. Whereas this Vegeta Blue, so a little bit better. He's more balanced. He's more balancé, so that's fine. And then Vados, I like her in terms of her Blast, not so much in her Strike. So again, I prefer in this particular situation to put Champa, but I can also agree that in a ladder-based format, having a mix can sometimes be a benefit, but also can be a very big detriment. You guys got to play around it. Overall, I don't think it's too much of a detriment, so I can easily give this still, like in terms of overall comp, I would say a 9. In terms of power, I can give it a 10. Like, the power's there. All right, we got the Chad. We got Chad. All right, so let's take a look what we got here. This looks like Saiyans. 6 stars, so therefore buffing the entire team. Buffing the entire team, buffing the entire team, buffing the entire team. He is fusions only, so he's just a red unit, but he does get buffed by this Gogeta. He also buffs the Gogeta. And then Vegeta, I believe he buffs Saiyans and Vegeta fam, but I gotta just double check because I am not entirely sure. But I believe he's also a Saiyan buffer, but I will figure that out momentarily. So yeah, he is a Saiyan and a Vegeta fam buffer, so that's good. So overall, we got some good boofs. We got a green. Either green is fine. Purple. We've got a blue. We've got a yellow. We got a red. All right, so we got the entire squad here. All right, so setup is good. We got some defense. You could also go with his particular equip that gives him massive defense, but obviously no health in that case. So in that case, in terms of health buffs, that's probably why, because you wanted health buff on him. Fair enough. Health buff along with, okay. And the defense, not bad. That equip creeps the hell out of me. Not gonna lie. It's just the Gohan one that you say in the hybrids team. Oh, do you mean the one that can be awakened? His plat equip. So the platinum equip for Gohan. The plat equip for Gohan can be awakened. So you should awaken that if that's your team particularly. So just letting you know. In case that is the question or the situazione. That's what I would say. Okay. Angel Vegeta to set up for him. Very nice. Okay. I have nothing really bad to say about these equips. There's nothing inherently wrong with the equip choice. So as a result, I can easily give this like a 10. In terms of like the composition choice, also a 10. In terms of like everything's just a 10. Good job. Whoever you are, good job. Pathetic. Let's go. Okay, we got a Saiyan buffer. They're all Saiyans, so I guess that works. Let's see, Majin, Vegeta. The only thing we're missing is a green. Okay, that's fine. In terms of equips, Z plus up. Do I have to? 10, 10, 10? Just 10. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, as much as a green unit would be nice, right now Vegeta fam is still struggling to find a green unit that is, I would say, ultimately the best green unit on the team. So as a result, are green units necessary for Vegeta fam? No. Would it be nice to have one that is solid? Yes. There's a couple of solid ones, but realistically, you could just argue that you don't even need one. So yeah, 10, 10, 10. I see. Okay, Regen. All right, so this is obviously a work in progress, I can see. So I will base it off of like the concept of what it's trying to be, more so than anything else. All right, so first things first. When it comes to this particular team, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with this. I would drop these two. He is okay. And I would drop this. So I would definitely work on something like Fat Boo. I would definitely work on something like Android 21 Good, if you can. But Fat Boo more so. I think that would definitely benefit you. Although these are blast-based, so I guess Android 21 Good is. But again, Fat Boo is easier to find than 21 Good. That's yellow, red, and green. Blue is fine. Purple. What purple would we want you to have? If you can find either Android 21 Evil, or alternatively, if you don't even want to run a purple, you don't have to. Although I would honestly, personally say that purple Demon King Piccolo would be your ultimate choice on whether you're blast focused or strike focused for Regen. He's just a solid unit. So, yeah, no, I understand that orders, which is exactly why I said like it's just 10, 10, 10. It's just fine. Like, there's really no reason to switch it up. All right, take care, Axel. Have a great night. Kid Trunks is amazing. In terms of like this, what I would definitely say is try to reroll for this equip to get it to A, or alternatively find a new version of that same equip to get to A. These equips are no good only because you're not running Shallot. So these equips are actually completely useless. I would definitely say for this team, definitely focus on finding regeneration-based equips. Build that first, and then make choices after that. It's fine to throw, I guess, on equips, but these equips don't actually make any difference for you. So as a result, I would definitely remove these altogether. If you have to put like silver and bronze stuff at first, that's totally fine. I would rather you do that than just waste spots. Or just leave them blank like this. Obviously, your goal will be to soul boost and stuff. Overall, this unit, and this unit can stay because if you do get them to this guy to Zenkai and this guy, which we have him free to Zenkai 2, you'll be good. You might as well. There's no reason not to have him at Zenkai 2. Because you already have him at 7 stars, so he's right there ready for it. And yeah, that's what I would definitely say. I don't think I can rate this, only on the basis that it's just incomplete. But I can definitely give you the advice that is necessary. So overall, find more regeneration equips in the equipment metal shop, in the exchange shop. Look out for the green Majin Fat Boo, ideally, since he's probably the easiest one to pick up. And then, if you get, let's say, Demon King Piccolo purple to 2 stars somehow, or 21 evil, put either or, at least for now. G-Money Alexander, hello. And that's what I would say for this team. I don't want to rate this because I can't rate this fairly since it is not done. Not even close to done. It's a definite work in progress. It's not even established yet, so I can't make a rating for this. Otherwise, the rating would be really low, and I don't feel like that's necessary. All right, let's look at Space Monkey. So we have Purple Frieza, health buffer, health restoration buffer, eventually, if it's not already. Okay. Okay, so the only thing is it's missing a green. And green metal cooler would definitely be good here, which is unfortunate. And who would I run? This one or this one? I'd run this one, so I'd probably drop him. Yeah. Because I like the health buffer and the health restoration buffer. But that's just me. I'm just a big fan of health restoration buffs. You know. All right, but anyways, let's take a look. We are going to see. So we got... All right, I'm okay with these equips. Fine. Okay. Yes. Does that only work on melee? Can you awaken that and make it a melee type? I just want to look. Or is it just for anyone that's Lineage of Evil or Frieza Force? Because if it is, then that's even better. And I would just rather we do that instead. But, you know, that's just a me. Let me just look at that equip real quick. What is that forced on? It's Frieza Force or Lineage of Evil. Yeah, you can awaken that. So I would definitely awaken this. Just awaken that. And then... Yeah, no. Overall, I think... Okay, so in terms of synergy-wise... Eight. I can give it 8. I was thinking of giving it average, but I figured, no, it's much better than average. So, yeah, 8. Things that I would definitely improve is particularly look at whether or not you want to maybe find a green. And I don't care who you replace, realistically. Although I prefer this one to be on my bench than this one. I don't know if you're running this guy or if you're running this one. But I'm personally more into a blast armor based unit. So that would be my playstyle. So that's just how I see it. In terms of comp, which is what we're talking about, once again, I could give this like an 8 or a 9. I think I'll give it more of an 8. I feel like I'm a little confused as to the 2 blue units being on the team and if it's just an alternating situation or if you're using both at some times. I'm not sure. Could also be your playstyle. It just feels a little messy in regards to that because he's very blast focused. He's very strike focused, but he's also got some decent blast damage. And his support is invaluable, so... I mean, it's very valuable. I don't know if invaluable is actually the word I'm looking for. I'm not sure. English is hard. A triple green S and a triple gold S. Yeah. There are 3 triple green S's. Yeah, pain. Overall, like, Yeah, for comp, I'll think I'll give it an 8. And then for power, I can give it a 9. It has power. Okay. This is being used for sure. This is being used for sure. This is being used for sure. This might be being used. But I would probably assume that these 3 units are always being used. So, let's take a look at this real quick. Okay. Okay. And then we got strike base. We got, okay, yeah. Chi-Chi's a fantastic buffer for females. And we got a health buff in some capacity for androids, which is all of them. So, or is it regen? Or is it regen and androids? I don't remember anymore. Doesn't matter. They're definitely all getting buffed. 21 simp. Another triple green ass. Overall, let's think about this real quick. For synergy wise, I like the fact there's a lot of Z and S here. I like that there is a plan and a thought out thing here. One thing I'm not a big fan of is these 2 equips. So I would honestly replace them with something better. So like more blast focused or more strike focus. Otherwise, I'm okay with this. And 8, 9, and then 10. 8, 9, 10. In that order. All right, moving on. All right, we got Goku Black. The team of Oh my god. Whoever you are, I love you. All right, the Chad factor. Okay, so when we have something like this, I will rate it appropriately. But for the Chad, we have a 10. For the Subarashi, we have a 10, and for the Sexy, we have a 10. So it's just a full-on 10, 10, and 10 for the for the Chad, Subarashi, and the Sexy. In regards to actually the situation, let's take a look at this real quick. I would prefer if this was more of this equip on him as well. He could benefit from this equip. So this equip should also be here. I think he can also run the same equip. So I'll have to double check, but if he can, change this equip again for that equip. Let's see. Everything else I'm okay with. So in regards to the synergy, I would give it an 8. In terms of team composition, I mean, since you're doing full Goku Black, I can't give you any less than 10, since that is what you're actually attempting to do. And then in regards to power, I think I can give you a 9. Definitely solid, definitely has a lot of power. I think the weak link is obviously the red unit. Despite him being okay, he's still garbage. But he's okay. It's very hard because he himself, if let's say you activate his main and then click RR against the blue unit, he will kill it if you don't get guessed. He will kill it. So his kit is actually better than his overall stats and how well he can keep up in the meta. And his kit could be better though. So, but overall, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's a pretty good team. Good job. God Key. Here we go. So we got strike based with a little bit of blast focus, but that's okay because of how we're playing this. So we got this guy can go either or. This one can go either or. She's mainly blast, but it doesn't really matter. You are also buffing the strike, so I guess it's fine. Let's take a look. Overall, I'm surprised that you didn't hit 3,000. Okay, but in terms of synergy-wise, I don't have actually any issues. I can see health buffers. I can see fixing up things that you need to fix up for this particular team to work as well as it does. I can give it a 10, 10, and 10. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say about it. It's good. It's a good job. Saiyajin, let's take a look. We got this, health buff, this. So we got our blue, we got our yellow, we got our green, we've got our red, we've got our purple. Okay, it's blast focused with a little bit of strike on the side. He can pick up his own strike, so that's fine. He's also blast nature also is helpful. Like, as in, he's a melee type, but he can do very solid blast damage. Defensive, yes. Nice setup there. Awaken this, please. Like, I understand, but awaken it. You can put defense, some more defense, yeah. Quick Nick Craft says, Phil, that's my team. Yo. Nick, that's awesome. That's a solid team. Good job. Good job. Now I need to make my Yamcha team. Maybe include Hero Cyberman. Oh my god, I can't find his Plat Equip Awakening anywhere, bro. You can't? Really? Because I thought that his awakening equip was actually decently easy to find, but I might be mistaken. So, good to know. Good to know. Sorry. I just had to fix up because I want to just make sure that I have my teammates safe so they don't hate me too much, you know? Do the thing. Do the thing. Gohan, do the thing. Thank you. Okay, ult. Yes, thank you. He dodged. Okay, but overall, let's take a look. Overall, I would definitely say, in terms of... I just want to get this in. No! Oh, that sucks. Jay Jones, I'm pretty good. How you doing? It's Quan, right? Yeah. It's not there in the USTR shop. Is it not? I'll have to look for it, NXRJ, and I just message me later, and I'll see if we can find it, because I believe it's somewhere. You just got to look for it. Overall, in terms of synergy, again, because we have to awaken that, I will probably give the equip set, like, a 9. Yeah, I'd give it a 9. 9.5. It's solid. Everything's solid. I almost want to give it a 10 still. It's just that, you know, there are things that you could do to improve it. Otherwise, solid. I have nothing to say about this other than I like this. This is a good setup. In terms of composition, yeah, it's a 10. 10. Yeah, okay. Good job. Not much to say. You did a very good job. Didn't spend on the SP banner yet. This way, Guji Blue to be 7-star, Vados 12-star, solely to 14-star, then push to VB Purple 10 to 14-star. Still working on equips. Don't have access to Z metal yet. Fair enough. Fair enough, Fujimatsu. Got you. All right, let's take a look at this real quick. Okay. I mean, one thing you could do is change Beerus for, like, a health buffer. That's about it. Unless you actually use Beerus. Ten. I don't have much to say. This God Key team feels good to me. I mean, realistically, because you're running this Vegeta, having a health buffer does help. So I could argue it's more like a 10-9-10 or a 9-9-10. But the only thing I really have an issue with is the fact that since it is more or less strike focused, you could just cut out Beerus altogether and just put in a health buffer. That's about it. All right, let's take a look at Zenkai Saiyans. Let's look at Saiyans. Okay, so we got the equip. Yeah, see, that equip, just as it is, which is the cursed triple green, is better than the non-awakened S with the red, the gold, and the green. So, life, eh? I know, Valk, I know, but still, the health buff helps Vegeta so much. If you were running Gogeta Blue, then I would definitely say you could keep Beerus, but you are running... Vegeta, and the more health that Vegeta has, the better chances that Vegeta doesn't lose the passives necessary to keep him relevant in the game. That's why. So I'm thinking on that end. Late to stream, Marcial says, will it be okay to share a team for your critique even after the stream in Discord chat? I would need to head home to share the screenshot from my tablet. Also nice to see you well again. Yo, thank you. And yes, you could definitely send it down. Actually, what I would definitely say is send it into the Rate My Team section, and then people will look at it. I'll probably look at it myself, so just... go for it. Yeah, and that's why, Valk. It's not that your team itself is bad. It's just more so like you got to consider those minor moments or potentially major moments where Vegeta needs those extra support. That's the thing about Vegeta. He needs that extra support, but if you support him properly, he's a good unit. Let's take a look at this. We got, okay, nice setup, solid. Okay, yeah, that works. Questioning this one, but it's not bad as a choice. It's a Saiyans team, so I get what the point of this is, and we got a health buffer. Okay, so let's take a look. We are missing a purple unit, but I guess Shallot being a generic unit is helpful. And we got double health buffs, actually, so I will give this in terms of synergy. Synergy-wise, I can give it... I'll give it a 9. For comp, I'll also give it a 9. I personally am okay with Shallot actually being on the team. Shallot does have a place in PvP. I just think that Shallot doesn't necessarily give this team anything extra to look forward to. He's not bad by any means, and he is a tank in his own right. I'm just worried, personally speaking, when it comes to Shallot, that not having a solid purple means that people will be abusing their greens, kind of invalidating this Nameku, which bothers me. Obviously, you can play through it with this green and with this red and maybe even Shallot, but my issue again comes with the fact that it kind of walls this Nameku a little bit more than I would necessarily like. It makes the Rising Rush priority on greens more so necessary than before. And that's my only issue whenever you don't have a full color wheel. Usually that ends up being the case. Unless your triple team is actually insane. Like hybrids. Gohans! So yeah. So yeah, 9, comp, 9 I would give it. In terms of power, I can give it a 10, but I would probably reduce it down to a 9 only because of being able to be walled by green units. So keep that in mind. Not all green units, but some. Movie Saga, let's go. Alright, I have to figure out which one's being used here. Oh my gosh. Okay. I see a Borley, buffing a Borley, and I see this Fugen being buffed by Borley, and I just have to remember, does he buff movies? I think he buffs movies. Yeah, he buffs movies in terms of his Z ability, but he buffs fusions in terms of his, not Z ability, Zenkai. Zenkai ability is movies, and then Z ability is Fugens. Got it. I got a few options for purples: movie, Super Saiyan Vegeta 6, Zenkai 2, Super Saiyan 3, Zaijin 3, Goku, and then 3 Revival Gohan. I personally would say that if you had to pick between those 3, the Revival Gohan might be just really good. Who would think I should just start over? I mean, Quan, if you're going to start over, I wouldn't get rid of your old account. I would just make a new account on a different device. That's what I would do. It's double health buff, I think. Yeah, probably. Anyways, let's take a look at this. I think this Borley's being used. Personally, if I were this person, I would run the Borley, with the Gogits, with the Gogits. Again, only thing that I don't see is a purple, which means that this team could get walled by a decent green, although probably not as much due to the fact of how this Gogeta in nature works. Yeah. So, not bad inherently as a result. But let's take a look at just these equips. I feel like this equip, but not awakened, could go onto this boyo right here. I would dare say that this Borley equip also works on this boyo right here. So, yeah, I would put that on him too. So this non-awakened equip I would put on, like, both of them. Or alternatively, if you really want to ramp up this guy's defense, because his offense is really good anyways, you could awaken the equip, put it on him, give him another defense, and give him a health buff, and Bob's your uncle. Actually, in fact, that's probably what I would do. Give him, like, hyper defense, because I don't see any health buffers on the team, like, specifically as health buffers. So giving him extra defense and extra health would be very beneficial for this Borley, especially at 3 stars. Ah, V-Sushi? Yeah. Well, like I said, it is the double health buff. It is the double health buff. I'm just saying, like I said, the only reason why I kind of disagree with the concept of a double health buff, like I said, guys, is because being walled by a good green usually means that until you Rising Rush that green, chances are you are actually the one in the losing position when it comes to neutral gaming. Okay? That's why I'm saying what I'm saying. It hurts the Nameku. Otherwise, I agree with you guys. I know exactly, and also don't forget Shallot can still be brought in. But yeah, it is awakened. Shisui, yes, but more than one. Like apply triple awaken. Yeah, the equip triple of it, not one of it. Triple, three, not one, three. We want three. That's what I'm saying. Okay. But V Sushi, you might be right in regards to not using the Shallot, but I still think that you could actually run the Shallot. I do agree with you though. You're probably right. It's probably just for the HP buff and nothing else. But that still doesn't negate the argument for the Nameku being walled off, which is actually probably the most annoying thing possible. I should know because I run a Saiyans team and the thing I don't have is a yellow, and as a result, people abuse. They abuse their purples against me, and it's a pain in the ass. And I did say that because it actually is. Which is why I switched to hybrids. I'm the scourge I swore to destroy. All right. Anyways, overall, let's take a look at these equips. Overall, despite all of this, I think I can still give the synergy a solid, 8. Synergy is there. I just personally think I would change around some things, but I don't think it's actually bad. It is a very solid team, and it's not as walled off as, let's say, a Greens currently. Greens can wall you off really hard, whereas in this particular situation, yellows for this team, they won't wall you off super hard, considering you have a red. Actually, no, it wasn't yellows. It was what? Was it purples? Because you don't have a purple. They definitely can comfortably bring in yellow. No, they can't bring in yellows comfortably. You don't have purple, so what are they doing? The greens, but greens, could they wall you off really hard? No, not in this case, because you got the Gogets. You got a potential lock in with the green card. You have defense and neutral damage with the blue card. No, okay, this is not so bad. And this Borley isn't exactly the most important thing on the team, although very good. All right, so overall, yeah. So, like I said, 8 comp. I mean, I would like a purple though. Like if you could. I mean, if you had Revival Han, that would just put this team over the edge. Like, there's really no reason not to have Revival Han. Now that I think about it. Combo, I have to give it an 8 too. And then for power, I can give it a 9. It's got power. It's just, I feel like in this case, having a movies team without a Revival Gohan just seems wrong. And I got the Broly to 7 stars, so that's why he's going to get it too. So I'm assuming you're going to increase that to Zenkai 7 eventually. And at that point, what I would definitely suggest is switch out the Gogets for Revival Han when you get him, and keep the Borley on the team to buff fully the team. Got yellow Gogeta if they bring in the purple. Sounds good. She's sweet. Good job. And then we got a GT, Best Toonie. Best Uni. Okay. Excuse me. Yes. Yep. What are you missing here? Missing a blue? Do you need a blue? Realistically, you're GT. Do you need actually a blue? What could they bring in if you don't have a blue? They can bring in reds, but could you just wall through reds with ease? Yeah, you could. Are reds actually the most important thing to wall or get walled by? Nah, not really. Yeah, this is solid. 10. I don't really have anything to say about this. What am I supposed to say about this other than this is good? Just solid. Good job. Is CMZ good on future? Yes. All right, let's That was Matt Striker. Good job. Let's just open up some more since I have a little bit more time. So we'll just cover a couple of more, and then we will be done for the day. Just never got him. I got shafted. All right, bet. She's sweet. Got it. All right, so we got Regen first, so let's take a look at this. Is there really much to say about this? Let's take a look. Okay, so we got strike-based, but we got the blast. So we got blast, got neutral, blast. Okay, cool. I mean, what am I supposed to say, guys? This is solid. One thing I would say is I guess you could argue that these equips, if you are bringing in these two units, you need to bring in your yellow. Because otherwise you are losing out on the defense. In which case, I would definitely say swap out the equips. So, okay, let me give it a 9 for now because I don't know how this person is playing. I hope that if you're bringing in these two particular units or one or the other, that alongside is your yellow Piccolo. Otherwise, you are in a position where your defenses have been lowered. So just keep that in mind. In terms of comp, I can easily give it a 10. The 10 is there. And then in terms of power, 10 is there, but I could also say 9 in case that you accidentally do like a purple, red, and then blue, or purple, red, and then green. Or you do one of these, but no yellow, for whatever reason. So you gotta be aware of that. You are putting yourself a little bit in a corner the moment you put this type of equip on there, especially if it's on more than one unit. Not future. Liar. Absolute liar. This person is lying to me. This is definitely future. All right, take care, Corey. Have a great day, okay? We have... What am I supposed to say? Guys, you give me these teams that are already like hitting their peak. Asking me to rate them. Fix this. Change it. I don't like it. Get rid of it. Find a better equip. I don't care. Find a way. Just get a better equip. Do it. Give you a 9 for that. But in terms of comp, 10. In terms of power, 10. It looks like it wants to be blast focused with some strike orientation. And that's totally legitimate and fine. Super sad. Let's take a look. All right, this is sexy. This is really sexy. It's a complete purple EX usable team with some Zenkai buffs. How many Zenkai buffs are actually needed? You only need technically 2 to make it work, but you can do 3 easily. It looks like these front units are good, are being used. These are friendship equips, my dude. Why are you putting... Why is there friendship equips on here? Why are there friendship equips? I want to know. What? What? Get rid of these friendship equips. Just get rid of them. Just buff yourself better. Overall, good. I guess this is fine in the grand scheme of things, but I would prefer to switch it up for something a little bit better. The Android Saiyan crit equip will, yeah, I know. It will. For Star Genie, there's a couple equips that will always trigger me if they're not used appropriately. Like, I feel like particular equips used on a particular team, phenomenal. On everything else, bad. Whoops, I F11. My bad. Roar, bad. In terms of synergy, I'll give you, I will give you a 9. Fix up those equips though. In terms of composition, it's hard for me to actually answer this because this is a mono purple team. But what I will say for what it is and what you're going for, I can give you a 10 because I know what you're going for and you have achieved what you are going for. In terms of comp, in terms of power, I will only give you an 8 because obviously if you're up against a yellow team, you will get walled, especially if there is a solid yellow tank on the team. And honestly, last thing I would say is if you can get this guy to 6 stars, bueno. Overall, like, I'm just nitpicking at this point. It's a solid team for what it is. In terms of PvP meta-wise, I can't rate that because that is dependent on who you face, how you play, how your opponent plays, and at that point, just a lot of things. All right, so let's take a look at Daddy Key. Oh, wow. God Key. Let's go. It looks like it wants to be strike-focused. Kind of. Wait. I'm not sure anymore. Is Champa being used, or is this Vegeta being used? Because I guess it could go either... Nope, it's going blast-based. Okay, never mind. Nope, no. It's blast-based. So this is a buffer. I don't think this is being used. And if it is being used, very rarely. So in that case, let's take a look. We've got yeah. So, sorry, I'm looking on, because I can look on both screens. Yeah, it's fine. I would actually personally add an extra health buffer here, because this is just one. Sure. Okay, in terms of equip-wise, I would definitely say that the only thing I don't really like is this equip, only because only if you're up against Saiyans will that equip be useful at any point in time for a certain amount of timer counts. I think it's like 20 timer counts. First 20 timer counts of the game. And after that, you kind of lose out on the last slot. But it's a good equip regardless. It's a little technical, and you only have so many timer counts to actually benefit from it. I will give this synergy-wise 9. In terms of comp, I can give it a 10. Comp-wise, it's good. And then in terms of power-wise, it's also a 10. Solid god job. So right now we're just discussing, like, Blaster Strike. I mean, who should I replace as a unit? NXRJ, which team were you referring to? Let me just double check. I can look. I can find you. NXRJ, are you using mainly Vegeta, or are you using Champa? Like, NXRJ, which one are you using? Is it Vegeta or Champa? Because depending on which one you're using, that's gonna dictate a lot. So I need to know that, because that also changed up like potentially equips and all that. Because Vegeta is really just overall a strike based unit, whereas Champa is more so blast based. So, and I see the majority of your team is generically blast based. So just letting you know. With the exception of obviously this red Teletubby Zamasu. Yeah, I know God Key, but which one? Are you running mainly Champa or Vegets? Who's the one that's actually going into the battle, would you say? You're using mainly Vegeta? Okay, so that changes things then a little bit. Okay, so one thing, it's a split though. Can you elaborate more on the split? Are you mainly like doing it based upon like who you're bringing in? So for example, if you're bringing in this if you're bringing in Zamasu and let's say Vados, you're bringing in Vegeta, for example, and then whenever it's like Vados and it's I don't know, like let's say this Godku, you're sometimes bringing in Champa, or like how are you doing that? Like, is that kind of a generic idea of the split? Because one thing I would definitely say is this UI, he would benefit more, especially at that point, especially if you're making a balanced team. I would definitely say that in that case, UI would benefit from replacing one of these 3 equips, particularly this first equip, with a platinum equip that increases his strike-based attack. Because at that point, you kind of want to go either or if you're going to really make that split. Because you could do this split, but in that case, you definitely need to make UI a little bit more versatile, considering the fact that you are going back and forth between the two, right? So in that case, I would definitely, if you don't have to change any units, but in that case, rearrange UI to be both strike and blast, which will kind of harm UI, but in the grand scheme of things, will definitely help your overall team in terms of always dealing consistent damage and not underperforming whenever bringing in Vegeta, let's say, with UI, because of his blast-based build, essentially. So that's what I would definitely say. There we go. Also, if Roar wants to send me his other mono team, best do it now. Otherwise, hold your peace. So yeah, that would, yeah. All right. So I think that's it for today, personally speaking. That's all I kind of want to cover. I will definitely be streaming on next Wednesday. We'll do more review my gameplay. So guys, in Discord or on Twitter or on Insta, please send me videos showing me some gameplay in regards to how you play in PvP, co-op, or PvE-based events, and I will look at how you play and give you guys suggestions on how you can improve or how you guys can fix up certain mistakes that you make. Now, with that being said, I will, with that being said, I don't know what I'm saying at this point. What I am trying to say is basically I will see you guys later. I'm not sure if I'm going to be streaming Monday. I will let you know in a community post, so keep lookout for that on YouTube. And yeah, stay salty out there and take care, okay, guys? These streams are always fun to watch. Thanks for the info, bro, and peace. All right, take care, NXRJ. Have a great day, okay? Mina, what equips would you suggest for Maju? But you know if there's an equip that would give Maju health buffs? Yes, I believe it's the Kefla equip, the one that we just got last season. I don't know if you picked up any or if you deleted them all, but I believe that covers... I think that covers fusions. I'll have to double check, though. I'm not 100% sure. All right, but anyways, for now, see you guys for sure on Wednesday and on Friday. I will let you guys know if Monday's also in the works, and take care, all right? Good night, everyone, or good afternoon, or